What is up, YouTube? Today we have a very fun video that we're going to be reacting to from the Japanese YouTube channel. It's something that I've been meaning to make a video on because it's been taking Japan by storm. I think is one of the better decks coming out for our World Championships. If you didn't guess already, it is Dusknoir Charizard. Now, why does Dusknoir bring Charizard back onto the map after it had a pretty lackluster NAIC performance? Charizard, the king of the format for almost a good part of the year, has finally met its downfall, or so people think. How does this little ghost boy bring it back to the forefront of the metagame? Is it because of its meetup attack with the 3 Duskull? Absolutely not. We have a Dusclops that it evolves into that has the ability Cursed Bomb, which once during your turn may place 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and if you did, it does knock itself out. That means you give up a prize card, but you do get to put 5 damage counters on the board. So in the context of something like Charizard, you are adding about 80 damage to your board, because now you are doing plus 30 with your attack, and plus 5 damage counters with this. And if you play cards like Defiance Belt or Counter Catcher, it activates them both if you want to play from behind. So this gives you a way to play from behind and be aggressive early without having to give up a pivotal prize. Now, the Dusknoir is even better as a stage 2 with the same ability, Curse Bomb, but rather than putting 5 damage counters, you're putting 13 to knock yourself out. So if you have the ability to go all the way up to the Dusknoir and put 13 damage counters on something, there's a good chance that you can pretty much go 1-for-1 on the prize trade here, take out a crucial piece of your opponent's setup somewhere, and then just start going in with your Charizard to attack. Like in the context of something like Block Lax as a matchup, it gets significantly better because the problem in the Block Lax matchup is that you can't deal with Mimikyus. But now if you have the Dusknoir line, you can always go 1-for-1 on their Mimikyus, and they're never taking prizes other places. So also going 1-for-1 puts them in a bad Iono range, and you can punish them that way. So I've taken a look at a couple of lists, and they're getting really wacky over in Japan. Some people playing 2-1-1, 2-1-2, like 2-2-2, like Dusknoir becoming the main part of the engine, cutting down on the Zard line, cutting down on the Pidgeot line, whatever, right? So I didn't really want to make a video on it yet until we get closer to Worlds, but I feel like the Japanese YouTube channel has decided to put one out for us here. So we're going to go ahead and react as we always do. If you guys enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Check out the original video as well. Show them some love. But all that being said, let's just jump in, have a good time. And yeah, spectator support for us. Yeah, so let's check it out as we're going. It looks like Zard versus Dragapult, a matchup that should be Dragapult favored in theory, but let's see if the Dusknoir like swings it. So we see Dragapult going first, getting out the Xatu, especially Devo. I think Devo is important on both sides actually. Depends on if they play it. This is an Evo version of Zard, so I don't know if this is Bibarel or Pidgeot. Evo signifies to me that it's Pidgeot probably. Oh, sorry, Pidgeot, Bibarel, yep. And so Bidoof comes down 70 HP. Interesting because now you play 70 HP because of Dragapult. We're going to go ahead and evolve up both the Dusknoir, or Duskulls up to Dusknoirs. Wait, no, Dusclops. There we go. Sorry, I keep getting it mixed up. So we see a retcon here. This is actually really scary now because with just a Dusknoir evolution next turn and an attack, we can actually just wipe the board. Okay, Candy Dragapult's pretty insane. Plus board. This is actually a pretty insane setup turn 2 from the Dragapult player. And they played like 1 Arven. So we're going to see a knockout, and the Bidoof gets 60 on it. We're going to see the Dusclops go into the active. Bibarel hitting the board. Dusknoir in the active. Defiance Belt to attach. We're going to see draw for 5. We're going to need a pretty good 5 cards here, but it can be done. So what would we really need? We can do 13 damage counters to the active, which just already knocks it out with Charizard. But if we can get another Dusknoir, we can go kill Dragapult to kill active in the game, or not Dragapult, Dracloak, and the game pretty much ends like on the spot here, which is like pretty insane. So we're gonna go ahead and kill Dracloak on the bench, going down 2 prize cards now. I guess we can go into the Dusclops as well here. Dusclops do 5 on the active, put it at 270, which also we can now one-shot with Charmander. We can Poffin. And we have Iono here. That'd be also really good because we get Iono. Oh, so we're going Arven. Again, Arven Candy for Evo. Candy Zard ability. Like, this is a really cool situation where, like, if you can actually set up the way this, like, player did and set up this, like, really crazy board. The Dragapult player hasn't done anything yet. They have all these cards left in their deck. So we basically get an early unfair stamp for free with an Iono. Like, if now we Iono on turn 2, like, what does our opponent really do? With Divine Spell, we do 300 damage. There's no more GPs on the board. It's kind of disgusting how good that was. Obviously, I don't think Evo into Double Dusclops is good. But this, for the purpose of this video, it seems like that's the route they're taking. Double GP hitting the board again. We can't get rid of both those GPs this time. But Arvin coming through getting Devo and Nest Ball. We're going to see a Nest Ball for Rotom to draw some cards here for sure. Sealstone hitting the board. Oh, we're just going to V-Star. Okay. I don't know what we're getting as our one of. I mean, Zatu's fine. I don't know if we need to burn that Sealstone right away. I think just drawing 3 cards this turn seems pretty good. We'll just draw 3, yeah. And I think here it's just like a Poffin, I guess, like thin out your deck a little bit and then just slam an Iono if you have access to it. Roxanne's better. Roxanne's even better. Like, yeah, imagine like you get Dusknoir, Dusclops into all of a sudden Iono. Now this Dragapult player gets 1 attack before the game is pretty much out of their hands, because this next attack will have to be, yeah, I was like, it has to do something where you can go ahead and Devo after this, so you can probably go attack here. So we just missed everything off the Roxanne, but realistically, you could have gone Boss, KO, Barrel, or, I don't know, Knockout, put 6 on Charmander on the bench, and then you have some, or hit active, put damage on Charmander. You have some damage to work with. You could move 20 to the Charmander, Devo, but then you'd be 10 damage short. So you'd have to move 10 from Barrel this turn onto Charmander. Hit active if you got the Dragapult. I'm saying Dragapult Fire, you would have to go move 10 off the Barrel to Charmander, hit active 20 to Charmander, or 60 to Charmander, and then you have to play for Devo next turn and just hope that the Charmander doesn't get evolved. Or if it does get evolved, it can't be a Charmeleon. It has to be like a Candyzard, which loses to Devo, but Charmeleon just beats that strategy. So we see the Sealstone coming through. Another Charizard taking the board. Double fires to Bibarel. This is actually pretty disgusting. The Bibarel version does seem pretty smooth. Obviously, we're hitting all our pieces, so it's like different. And there's the boss for the game onto the Rotom. But I think from this position, like the Dragapult player needed at least 1 more attack, or 2 attacks total. So like the game, I don't think was ever going to go the other way. But Dusclops and Dusknoir, you guys can see how powerful they actually are. I'm actually like shockingly surprised at how good this is. Let's take a look at the list. We see 2-2 Bib. 2-2-1 Dusknoir seems fine. 4-2-3 Zard seems very thick, but we're playing Bib. So that makes sense to me. 2 Counter Catcher, especially because we are able to give up our own prize cards. 3 Candy, that also makes sense to me because we can also go Duskull, Candy, Dusknoir. 1 Nest Ball also makes sense. There's no Rotom here. There's no way to draw additional cards, which is a little bit weird to me, but it's fine, I guess. Max Belt seems pretty good because you can go Max Belt. Like, let's say your opponent takes a prize. You can go Dusknoir, or Dusclops, sorry, 5 damage counters. Let's say it's just a opposing Zard, puts it at 280. Now we have access to Max Belt plus Zard attack for knockout. So Zard Mirror gets a little more complicated, a little bit more funny. Could be really good. I think this deck has a lot of potential, especially the Pidgeot version, if we ever get to like talking about that. But I think this deck is really, really good off the bat, and I think it's something everyone should test and look into going to the World Championships and most likely like your League Cups and challenges on those respective weekends. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please always like and subscribe. And from me, that's all. See you guys next time.